Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of English Plus Podcast. I'm your host, Danny, and today we're going to embark on a fascinating journey into the world of communication. Now, you might be thinking, communication? Isn't that just talking about listening? Well, there's so much more to it than that, and that's exactly what we're going to explore today. Let's start with the basics: verbal and written communication. These are the pillars of conveying our thoughts, ideas, and feelings. But here's the thing. It's not just about what we say or write. It's about how we do it. Ever had a text message misunderstood and found yourself in a bit of a pickle? Or said something that sounded better in your head than out loud? Yeah, we've all been there. Now imagine you're at a job interview. You've got the skills, the experience, but if your communication is unclear or unconvincing, it's like having a great book with a cover that doesn't do it justice. Effective verbal communication is about clarity, conciseness, and a touch of charisma. It's about painting a picture with your words so vivid that your listener can't help but see it too. And what about written communication? In our digital world, it's more important than ever. Think about emails. A well-crafted email can build bridges, but a poorly written one can build walls. It's about choosing your words carefully, being clear and concise, and yes, those pesky grammar rules do matter. But don't worry, we're not here to give you a grammar lesson, just a nudge to remind you that your words are a reflection of you. And moving on to active listening. This is where the magic of communication really happens. It's not just about hearing the words, it's about understanding the message behind them. Think about a time when you were talking to someone and they were just waiting for their turn to speak. Frustrating, right? Active listening is about being fully present, showing empathy, and responding in a way that shows you're genuinely engaged. It's about listening to understand, not just to reply. And what about public speaking? Now, this is where many of us start to sweat. Standing in front of an audience can be daunting, but it's also an opportunity to shine. It's about confidence, clarity, and connecting with your audience. Remember, it's not just what you say, but how you say it. Use stories, anecdotes, and a touch of humor to make your point. Think of it as a conversation, not a monologue. And let's not forget nonverbal communication. Our body language, facial expressions, and even our tone of voice can speak volumes. Ever noticed how someone's body language can tell you they're not interested, even if they're saying the right words? That's the power of nonverbal cues. They can reinforce your message or contradict it. So being aware of them is crucial. And now, before we wrap up, let's talk about applying these skills in real life. Whether it's in a personal or professional setting, effective communication can open doors, build relationships, and help you navigate the complexities of human interactions. Start by practicing active listening in your next conversation or by revising an email to make it more clear and concise. Remember, communication is a skill, and like any skill, it gets better with practice. And there you have it, folks. We've just scratched the surface of the vast world of communication skills. Stay tuned for the next segment, Word Power, where we'll dive into the key words of effective communication. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. In this segment of our episode, we're going to explore some key terms and phrases from our previous discussion on communication skills. Understanding these terms not only enriches your vocabulary, but also deepens your grasp of effective communication. Let's start with verbal communication. This term refers to the use of spoken words to convey a message. It's a fundamental aspect of human interaction, ranging from casual chats to formal speeches. Verbal communication is not just about the content of what is said, but also how it is said, the tone, speed, and clarity of speech. Moving on to written communication. This involves expressing ideas through writing. In today's digital world, written communication is ubiquitous, encompassing emails, texts, reports, and more. It's vital to be clear, concise, and mindful of your audience when writing, as written words can often be misinterpreted due to the lack of vocal tone and facial expressions. Another crucial concept is active listening. This is more than just hearing words. It's about fully engaging with the speaker, understanding their message, and responding thoughtfully. Active listening involves attentiveness, empathy, and a genuine interest in what the other person has to say. Now let's talk about public speaking. This phrase often conjures images of standing before an audience delivering a message. It's a skill that combines confidence, clear articulation, and the ability to connect with listeners. Effective public speakers are those who can hold the attention of their audience and convey their message persuasively. We also touched on nonverbal communication, a term that covers all the ways we communicate without words. This includes body language, facial expressions, and even our tone of voice. Nonverbal cues can often tell more than words themselves, revealing our true feelings and attitudes. Clarity is another key word. In communication, clarity means expressing your thoughts and ideas in a straightforward and understandable manner. It's about avoiding ambiguity and making your point in a direct yet thoughtful way. The term conciseness is closely related. It means being brief and to the point, without unnecessary words or details. Conciseness is especially important in written communication, where readers often prefer succinctness over lengthy explanations. Charisma in communication refers to a compelling charm or appeal that can inspire and captivate an audience. A charismatic speaker engages and energizes their listeners, often making their message more persuasive and memorable. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. In communication, empathy involves recognizing the emotions and perspectives of others, which enhances mutual understanding and connection. And lastly, confidence. It's about believing in oneself. In communication, confidence allows individuals to express their ideas assertively and clearly, making them more convincing and influential. Understanding these terms is not just about expanding your vocabulary. It's about enhancing your ability to communicate effectively in various settings. In our next segment, Action Time, we'll delve into the real-life application of these concepts. We'll explore practical action points to improve your communication skills in everyday situations. So stay tuned and get ready to transform these concepts into tangible skills. Welcome back to our segment Action Time, where we transform the concepts of communication skills into practical, real-life applications. Let's delve into how you can apply these skills in your daily interactions. First, consider verbal communication. Imagine you're in a team meeting at work. Instead of just presenting your ideas, focus on how you articulate them. Speak clearly, use a confident tone, and pause for emphasis on key points. This practice not only ensures that your message is understood, but also demonstrates your command over the subject. In terms of written communication, let's say you're drafting an email to a client. Before hitting send, review your email for clarity and conciseness. Ask yourself, is my message clear? Have I gotten to the point without unnecessary information? This habit will not only save your recipient's time, but also reflect your professionalism. And now, active listening. Active listening can be practiced in every conversation. Next time you're talking to a friend or colleague, focus entirely on what they're saying. Resist the urge to formulate your response while they're still speaking. Instead, listen intently, nod in agreement, and offer feedback that shows you've genuinely understood their perspective. Public speaking skills can be honed in various settings, not just on a stage. For instance, volunteer to lead a presentation at work or speak at a community event. Use storytelling to make your speech more engaging and practice maintaining eye contact to connect with your audience. Remember, public speaking is a skill that improves with practice, so seize every opportunity to speak in front of an audience. Nonverbal communication is equally important. Be mindful of your body language in meetings and interviews. Maintain an open posture, make eye contact, and use hand gestures to emphasize points. These nonverbal cues complement your words and convey confidence. And now let's look at some action points. For clarity, after every conversation or written communication, ask yourself if your message could be misunderstood. If yes, seek feedback and refine your communication style. For conciseness, challenge yourself to express ideas in fewer words without losing the essence of the message. To develop charisma, observe charismatic speakers or leaders you admire. Notice how they engage with their audience and try to incorporate some of their techniques into your own communication style. Empathy can be developed by actively trying to put yourself in others' shoes during conversations. This practice not only enhances understanding, but also strengthens relationships. And lastly, confidence in communication often comes from preparation and practice. Before an important conversation or presentation, prepare thoroughly and practice your delivery. This preparation will naturally boost your confidence. Remember, effective communication is a skill that can be developed and refined over time. By incorporating these practical applications into your daily life, you'll notice a significant improvement in how you connect and interact with others. In our next segment, Frequently Asked Questions, we'll address some of the common queries about communication skills. We'll explore answers to questions that many of you might have, providing further clarity and insight into this vital skill. So stay tuned, and let's continue to enhance our communication together. Welcome to our Frequently Asked Questions segment, where we address some additional queries you might have about communication skills. These questions delve deeper into the nuances of communication, providing you with a broader understanding of this essential skill. One common question is, how can I improve my communication skills if I'm naturally introverted? This is a great question. Being introverted doesn't mean you can't be an effective communicator. It's about playing to your strengths. Introverts are often good listeners and thoughtful speakers. You can leverage these traits by practicing active listening and speaking in a clear, concise manner. Also, preparing ahead for social interactions can help you feel more confident. Another query often raised is, in a world dominated by digital communication, how important is face-to-face communication? Well, despite the rise of digital communication, face-to-face interactions are still crucial. They allow for a more holistic communication experience where nonverbal cues play a significant role. In-person interactions foster deeper connections and are essential in situations where digital communication falls short, such as conflict resolution or building trust. And people also ask, how can I tell if I'm an effective listener? Well, effective listening is not just about hearing words. It's about understanding the message behind them. You can gauge your listening skills by assessing how well you can summarize the other person's message and respond appropriately. If you find yourself frequently misunderstanding or forgetting details, it might be a sign to work on your active listening skills. A common concern is, how do I handle situations where I have to communicate in a language I'm not fully comfortable with? Well, this can be challenging, but it's important to focus on clarity over fluency. Use simple, clear language and don't hesitate to ask for clarification if you're unsure about something. Over time, as you practice more, your comfort level with the language will definitely improve. And another frequently asked question is, how can I improve my nonverbal communication skills? Well, nonverbal communication can be improved by becoming more aware of your body language and the signals you're sending. Practice maintaining good posture, making appropriate eye contact, and using gestures to enhance your verbal message. Observing others' nonverbal cues can also provide insights into improving your own. And many people wonder, can public speaking skills help in everyday communication? Well, absolutely. Public speaking skills enhance your ability to organize thoughts, speak clearly, and engage with an audience, which are all useful in everyday communication. These skills make you more articulate and confident in various social and professional settings. How do I deal with communication barriers in a multicultural environment is another relevant question. Well, in multicultural environments, it's crucial to be aware of and sensitive to cultural differences in communication styles. Avoiding assumptions, being open to learning about other cultures, and adapting your communication style can help overcome these barriers. And people often inquire, what role does empathy play in effective communication? Well, empathy is vital, as it allows you to understand and relate to others' feelings and perspectives. This understanding fosters deeper connections and more meaningful conversations. Empathetic communication is particularly important in conflict resolution and building rapport. Another important question is, how can I effectively communicate in high-stress situations? In high-stress situations, it's key to stay calm and focused. Taking deep breaths, organizing your thoughts before speaking, and being mindful of your tone and body language can help maintain effective communication even under pressure. And lastly, how can technology be used to enhance communication skills? Well, technology offers numerous tools and platforms for improving communication. Video conferencing tools help in practicing face-to-face communication, while various apps and online courses can assist in enhancing language and public speaking skills. So technology is definitely useful. Well, as we conclude this segment, remember that communication is a dynamic and evolving skill. Continuously seeking answers and being open to learning are part of becoming a better communicator. Next up, we have our Mythbuster segment, where we'll tackle some common misconceptions and myths about communication skills and debunk them. Stay tuned to discover the truths behind these widespread beliefs. Welcome to our Mythbuster segment, where we dive into common misconceptions about communication skills and shed light on the truth. Let's unravel these myths and enhance our understanding of effective communication. One widespread myth is that good communicators are born, not made. Well, this is far from the truth. While some people may have a natural inclination toward effective communication, it is definitely a skill that can be developed and refined over time. And like any other skill, communication improves with practice and learning. Another common misconception is that saying more means better communication. Well, in reality, quality trumps quantity. Being concise and to the point often makes a stronger impact than lengthy speeches. It's about making your words count, not counting your words, if you know what I mean. And there's a belief that nonverbal communication isn't as important as verbal communication. However, studies have shown that a significant portion of our communication is nonverbal. Body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice play a crucial role in conveying our message and emotions. Many people think that public speaking is only for leaders or celebrities. Well, this is not true. Public speaking skills are valuable for everyone, regardless of profession or status. They enhance your ability to express ideas clearly and confidently, which is beneficial in many aspects of life. A common myth is that good listeners are passive. Well, on the contrary, active listening is a dynamic process. It involves engaging with the speaker, showing interest, and providing feedback. Good listeners actively process the information and respond thoughtfully. Another misconception is that written communication is less prone to misunderstandings than verbal communication. Well, this is not exactly true. Written words devoid of vocal tone and facial expressions can easily be misinterpreted. Clarity and context are essential in written communication to avoid confusion. And some believe that introverts are not good communicators. Well, we talked about that, but it's worth saying it again. This is definitely a misconception. Introverts can be excellent communicators, especially in one-on-one interactions or when discussing topics they're passionate about. Their thoughtful and often empathetic approach to communication can be very effective. And there's also a notion that communication skills are only important in professional settings. Well, I can't stress that enough. In truth, these skills are vital in all areas of life. Effective communication enhances personal relationships, helps resolve conflicts, and improves overall social interactions. And a common myth is that digital communication is less effective than face-to-face interaction. Well, while face-to-face communication has its advantages, digital communication tools have evolved to bridge many gaps. They offer convenience and new ways to connect that can be just as effective. And lastly, there's a belief that communication is just about exchanging information. Well, in reality, it's also about building relationships, understanding others, and creating rapport. Communication is a two-way street that involves not only sharing, but also connecting. So keep that in mind. It's not just a show. It's about building relationships, understanding others, and creating rapport. That's very important to remember. Well, these myths highlight common misunderstandings about communication, and by debunking them, we can approach our interactions more effectively and with greater insight. Next up is our segment In Real Life, where we look at some real-life examples of how effective communication skills can be applied in various situations. These stories will showcase the practical impact of good communication skills in everyday life. Stay tuned to see how theory translates into practice. In our In Real Life segment, we bring the concepts of effective communication into the context of everyday situations, showcasing how these skills can be applied and the impact they can have. Let's start with verbal communication in a professional setting. Meet Sarah, a project manager in a tech company. She often leads meetings where complex ideas need to be communicated clearly. Sarah has learned that by using simple language and breaking down concepts into manageable parts, her team understands and retains information better. During a recent project launch, her clear communication style enabled the team to execute the project flawlessly, as everyone was definitely on the same page. And now consider written communication in the context of education. Alex, a university student, frequently emails his professors with questions about assignments. Initially, his emails were long and unclear, often leading to misinterpretation. After learning about the importance of conciseness and clarity, Alex started writing more precise emails. This small change led to quicker and more helpful responses from his professors, enhancing his academic performance. And in the realm of active listening, imagine a scenario involving Emily, a customer service representative. She regularly deals with frustrated customers. By actively listening, empathizing, and responding to their concerns, Emily is able to de-escalate situations and find solutions more effectively. Her ability to listen and understand her customers' perspectives not only resolves issues, but also builds customer loyalty. And now consider public speaking in a community context. John, who used to fear speaking in public, volunteered to speak at a local community event about environmental conservation. He prepared thoroughly and used stories to make his speech more relatable. His successful presentation increased community awareness about environmental issues and garnered support for local conservation efforts. This example shows how public speaking skills can make a difference beyond the workplace. And what about nonverbal communication? It can be crucial in personal relationships. Take the case of Aisha and her partner. They often had misunderstandings because Aisha's nonverbal cues did not match her words, leading her partner to believe she was upset when she wasn't. By becoming more aware of her body language and facial expressions, Aisha was able to communicate her feelings more accurately, improving their relationship. And lastly, let's consider empathy in a healthcare setting. Dr. Patel, a physician, is known for his empathetic approach to patient care. By genuinely understanding and responding to his patients' concerns, he not only provides better care, but also builds trust and rapport. This empathetic communication often leads to more accurate diagnosis and improved patient satisfaction. Well, these real-life examples illustrate how effective communication can positively influence various aspects of life. From professional success to personal relationships, the power of clear, empathetic, and confident communication cannot be overstated. And that, my friends, brings us to the close of today's episode. But before we part ways, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you for tuning in. Your time and attention mean the world to us, and it's your enthusiasm for learning that keeps this podcast going strong. Now, if you found value in what we've shared today, consider this your call to action. Follow English Plus Podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Share it with your family, friends, and anyone else who's eager to enhance their communication skills. Your support by simply listening and sharing can make a significant impact, helping us reach more people who can benefit from our content. But don't stop there. Take your support to the next level by becoming a patron on Patreon. This isn't just about supporting us. It's an opportunity for you to unlock a treasure trove of premium episodes designed to take your English skills and knowledge to new heights. Your patronage ensures that we can continue producing high-quality content and keep adding value to your learning journey. So join us on Patreon, unlock those premium episodes, and become an integral part of our ever-growing English Plus community. Thank you, each and every one of you, for listening, for your support, and for being committed to bettering yourselves. Remember, every word you learn, every new phrase you pick up opens up a world of possibilities. Keep learning, keep growing, and until next time, keep communicating effectively. This is Danny signing off from English Plus Podcast. See you next episode.